Hi friends, welcome to Tutor's Funny channel. Today I am going to teach how to make the Crud application using Node.js with Angular front-end application with MongoDB as a database. So how to do the system in professional way. So here you have a nice registration form and you have a table, bootstrap table. Here you have to here add the first name. I'm going to add the first name John. Last name I'm going to write as Peter. John, we have to use something Steve. Name, email address John at gmail.com. Password I'm going to set as 123. The password, if you type the password, it take it as a hash hash. It will be password as a security hash. It will be take care of it. If you click submit button, employee registered successfully. Now you can see the newly registered is created below. You can check here. Now if you want to edit the record, if you click this button here, it will be edit the record. Pointer here. If you want to click this button, John here, we edit it. So you can see the password is a hash password. Okay, what you the record you can edit, it will be to take it as a hash. Now you can able to edit over here. Right now here, I'm going to edit the record John. You're going to write John. I'm going to change it as this one as a Fleming. Fleming. So here Steve. So Flem. Gmail.com. Now if you are to submit again, this time employee update. Employee add and edit both are doing in one button. Okay, if you click edit button, the programming understand this time not going to user edit as add record. Is just this time record will be updated. Right. So okay, right. Perfect. Now here you can check here. Okay, planning. Okay, all the things are working perfectly. Now if you want to delete the record, click delete button. Record has been deleted. How to make this CRUD application Node.js and Angular as a front end and MongoDB as a database using step by step will teach. For Node.js, you just type on the Google Node.js. You go to the respective website. Here where you can download the Node.js. Right? No, download and you have to install your machine. After install it, you have to download the MongoDB. Right? MongoDB download. You have to go and download here. Right? MongoDB. Right? Here go and type here try for free. You have to download it and install your machine. Right? You have to fill the form and you can download it. You can register and after that you can download it. Right? After that you have to install the MongoDB Compass as well. Right now, then you will be able to get this MongoDB Compass. This is the MongoDB Compass. You will be able to get it. That you have to open them, right? So it will be open up, right? The first you have to install the Node.js. After install them, you can get the MongoDB Compass. Here where you have now you have to create the database, right? So here this is a server default you have created. You can see here localhost. This is a server, right? So you have click connect. Your database has been connected, right? Your database has been connected, right? So here, if you want to create the new database, you click on the plus symbol. Okay, this one should be the database name is a collection. In MongoDB, this is a NoSQL. No SQL means this is not a structure, right? This is a NoSQL, right? This is not a relational database, right? So here you can see here database I'm going to create as whatever name. I'm going to create BBC. Okay. Okay. This is the database BBC, right? I just name it as the BBC school or something, right? Some institute. We EST. I just use EST, right? So after that, the collection I'm going to create as the table name. Table name is I'm going to create this as employees. Employees a table name. You have to create yes employees, right? The plural. You have type as a plural. The collection is that is a efficient way to create the collection plural employees, right? Okay. This database name EST, right? This is a database. This table name. Whatever database name you have, school management system or hospital management system, you have to create. Okay, right? Right, now let's click create. Now here your database has been created, est. Inside here, this is the structure. You can see here, sorry, this one, employees. You can see the employees, right? So this is the structure you have created. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, now you have created the database, right? So and tables, this is table means the collections. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to install the, another important thing is VS Code editor. This editor helpful to write the Node.js code. VS Code editor. You have to download and install the code. This is must. This editor is must. You have to work with the Node.js, right? So this must, right? You click and install your machine, right? After done the stuff, what you're going to do is I'm going to create the Node project, Node.js project I'm going to create. So I'm going to go to the E drive. So here I'm going to create the new project, Node new projects. I'm going to create the folder. Here now I'm going to create a new project of Node.js. So click on the address bar, type cmd. Here open up your command prompt. Here you type npm init, press enter key. It asks the package name. I just press enter key, version enter. This one, if you want, you can fill them. At the moment, I don't need them. This one, I am going to enter this, right? Right. It will generate the package.json file, right? So you have to press yes. Right. You can see the package.json. Only the one file is created. Now you have to open them is VS Code editor. You have to type it again cmd code space dot. Your project will open up the VS Code editor. Look like this. Now here, trust for that. In package.json, you can see the file, the single file. Here only the node project, your version, all the things are there, right? Now here, node is a package management. Now here we have to install the Node.js server. The server means here the server is where communicate with the front end, right? Backend and front end. Backend in Node.js, there's an Express editor. Okay, in PHP, Laravel, PHP, and Java, Spring Boot, those are the framework. Here, this one should be the Express. That is the server you are running. Now let's go to the Google and type over here Express, npm Express. You type simply Express. It goes to the relevant npm model. Okay, it goes here. You have to find the link to install that. Right. First, you have to get the link over here. After you have experience, you just type npm I Express. I mean it stands for install. Okay, there are things, click copy, right? So how to import it here, it will be telling how to import this package, right? So let's back to my uh, project. This is my project, right? So now here I'm going to open the terminal. It's simple, very simple. If you open up the terminal over here, right? So here I'm going to type npm I Express. Okay, I have typed like this. You just copy and paste, it will be work. It's don't worry. Okay, then you will be able to see all the package need to be installed. Okay, all the node modules package need to be installed. You have to wait until the package get installed. Now you can see here, node modules packages are installed successfully. All the packages are installed. Right, very simple. Right. After done the stuff, what you're going to do is you have to install another module that is a Mongoose. Right, Mongoose. So out in goes npm Mongoose. Mongoose is the package. Here we have to communicate with the database. This also npm I Mongoose. You just copy this one. You can see paste it over. This is also the terminal in VS Code editor. Press enter. Now you have to wait until the Mongoose package get installed. Okay, don't close anything in here. Okay, you have to wait until the process completed. Right, this all the packages completed, then only we will be able to work. Right, so don't skip or anything else. You just keep while the installation completed. Now my package, all the packages installed successfully. Right, my Mongoose, right, package. So you have to go and check the package.json. Now you can see here the dependencies install Express as well as Mongoose. Both are installed. So you can check on the file. Just open the file on package.json and you can check whether it is installed or not. It installed successfully. You can get them inside the dependency. You will be see. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to start this server. So here simply you can click this plus symbol, this icon. Now here I'm going to create the new page. This is server.js. Here we have to implement the server. So we done the Express editor we have installed. First you have to type var. So type var. This is a data type. So Express equal required. We have to implement the namespace. Okay. Like Java, you have to write import Java. Same thing, you have to import the server over here, Express. Then only you have to express the server. Now here implement the server successfully. Now after that, this server you have to call this var server equal Express. This we have to call it. Then only it will be work. Sorry, server Express. Then it will work. Right, perfect. Now what I'm going to do is, what I'm going to do is, we have done this stuff. Now I'm going to set a port. What is the port the server is running on? So the server dot listen the port. You have to give any port. Now I'm going to run it 8000 port. What port you can give? Right, this is a port where your server is running. Right, that's the thing we have to do it again. Okay, now here we have to write like this. Now what I'm going to say, I'm going to check whether it is working or not. You have to create a function check error. You have to write this efficient way. This is the way you have to follow. Right, it's very simple. If error, you have to write here console dot log error. Else, or the else part, right? If it is started, you just copy this one. Control C to copy, Control V. This one should be started. Right. Now here, this one we have to call. This is not an efficient way to call this. Whether the port is running or not. Just this function. What you have to call this inside this function? In this bracket, you just comma this function. You have to Control X to cut off and paste it over here. Okay, this is the way you have to follow. This is a very simple way. This is how we have to write the function. This is how it will be work. Right, very simple. Right, now let's type how to check with this server. Sorry, node server .js. Right, the problem is this. We have to write, but we didn't call it. That's why it didn't write. Okay, so we have to call this one is here is we have to write server. You have to call it over here server. Server use express .json. Right. Save all. Again, you have to paste it here. Now here you can see that no problem. Your server is started. The code's no problem. Your server is started. Right. This is how we have to running the server. Okay. Now the server is successfully running on your machine. Right. The Nodejs server is running successfully in your machine if you write the command. Right. Perfect. Right. After done the stuff, you have to call server use express JSON mean it will be running. If the port is okay, it will be running. Right. Now after that, what you're going to do is you have to establish the database connection. So I already installed the Mongoose in my machine. After that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the variable var Mongoose. So write the variable Mongoose equal. Here also the same thing, you just copy and paste it instead of writing. Here also you have to change this one as a Mongoose. This library, Mongoose library, right? You have to call this if it is any problem. Here this is what is the name here. Given the same name, you have to put it over here. Okay, avoiding the spelling mistake, like Mongoose. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is here, the server we have to get them. to implement the namespace here, no problem. Okay, this we implement the namespace. Now here we have write mongoose dot connect. We have to connect the server. So write it over here. It's connection. Mongoose connection. You have to write here. Simply you have MongoDB. You have MongoDB. You have to write MongoDB. You have to write slash localhost this connectivity. Simply you have to get the connectivity over here. When I connect the first time, you will be get the connection project. Okay, you have to connect here this one. Here this one. Simply you have to get this URL. Okay, right? This URL you can get. If you have any problem issue with this one, you can get the URL or like this. Your database name is what's the database I have created. This name you have to given. First name EST is a database name. EST which is a database name. Right? That's it. That's the thing you have to write. After that, you have to close this one. Right? So after that, what you are going to do is here we have to do the thing is we have to check this this as well. So we have to write a function. So we have function here also function that function here also function check db error check db. This also you have check with if error if error if it is error console this one is something you have to call it instead of writing call that right. If db error it's called error, otherwise it is running this db starter db sorry you have to run it here db connected right, db connected, perfect. Now what you are going to do is this is also the arrow function, right? This one also we have to paste control x to cut off comma you have to paste here. It's working, right? Working. This is how you have to do the things. After that what you are going to see another thing is this is mask, right? So you have to write right inside here you have to call the two things. This is mask, right? So I'm going to go to my project, right? So here this is the two things are must, then only the project is running. Here this one use url pass, then only the urls all the things are work without any problem, right? You have to pass this one, right? So here it open the bracket and close bracket here comma, then only the error, right? So that's it. Okay, this is simple stuff. Don't worry about this, also I provided you will be able to run it, right? The simple one. Okay, instead of writing you have to just copy and paste it. Okay, the new user trial true, topology true. Don't make it. This is simple stuff. After done the stuff, we'll check whether the our database connect is okay or not. Let's control C to copy, control C to stop the project, rerun it again. Node server JOS. Right, started. What is the error? This error function is not defined. What is the error here? Right, the problem is over here. Here the other thing is here error we didn't do it here. What's the error? Then only it will work. The function I have written it's a blank function. Inside the function we have to type error. Then only this error is coming here. That's why it show the error. Save all again. You have to type again. Now your DB is connected successfully. Your DB is connected successfully. I hope you guys you understood the things well. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. After done the stuff, I'm going to go to create the new folder which is a routes. The routes manage all the URLs, right? So right click inside the routes folder. I'm going to create a file which is a routes.js, right? The file which manage all the URLs management, right? So okay. Now here also the routes file also what you are going to do is we have to the same thing you have to implement. The express server this namespace you have to implement it over here. After that we have to use this we have to write over here as the thing is, you have to write first route. You have to write here this one concept variable. This is the way you have to follow that. Router equal express dot router. That's the thing you have to write. Express router. Here you have to write this router dot route. Here you have to mention the URL. Okay, if the URL is coming, dash, you have to write user. So user, you write get all. If the URL coming, what happen is you have to go to the get user controller. I haven't created this page yet. I'm going to create this page. Get data function. It's called the get data connect controller function. Controller F1 means function. That's it. It goes to that particular function to get the things, right? So this is if the URL is coming, right? So let's go to the server and do the thing is here. Very simple. You have to do the stuff, right? So first you have to the server. We have to add the path of the route. We have your server is running. Your server is called the routes. So routes. Okay, the variable routes require. You have to write like this. Routes. Yeah, the routes. These are the for routes. Routes slash route. This what is the file routes. That's the thing you have to write. This is the path you have to give. Okay, the routes where this is you have to create the variable routes required your dot routes, yeah, inside the file routes, right? It's there. Okay, we go here. The server file is here. It goes inside this folder. Right? You have to go type like this. Now it's current directory. Slash mean you have to go inside the folder slash routes. Inside the routes, you have a file called routes.js. But because you have to outside the here this you are outside the server.js, outside the routes folder. If you access the routes folder, what you have to go to the path dot mean now you are in the current directory. This is the directory is current directory. This is a dot slash. This is a slash. If you go inside the things slash means slash inside the things you have to go to access this file slash routes. This file you have to access. So you go to the path like this. Right. Perfect. That's stuff you have done it. Now you have to use this route as well. Okay, so how to use route as well. Here you have to using all the things. Right, the route as well. So how to use the routes. Here also you have to write server. You have to tell them the server to call the routes. So use routes. These routes. You give the path. This path you have given over here. That's the thing. You have to do it here. Perfect. Let's save that. Right. Now everything you have completed. Now what you are going to do is here. Is there any URL issues? Right, that's something. The problem is the RESTful API access problem. You have to write this cross. You have to write constant cross because the URL API access they have the problem. Okay, the API access. If you get the problem, you have to write in order to solve the problem. You have to import this. Right. Okay, import this one. So you have to write the Control C to copy, Control C to stop the server. Now this one you have to type npm I right cross like it package is installed. Right, perfect. Okay, the RESTful API problem which is work without any problem. You have to use this one also. You have to connect with the server dot use cross folder method. That's it. That's the thing you have to write. Perfect. Right. Now all the things are working perfect. Now what you're going to do is go to the routes. You have to go to the get, or if you get the function, it goes to this particular function. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the folders. Okay, so I'm going to put it to folder. So I'm going to type here, create the folder which is a you can type the src. You have to create the folder src. Inside the src folder, you have to type the folder user. So this is the file structure you have to create. This is the efficient way to type the folder structure. So sorry, this is inside the routes. So we have to delete them. Not inside the routes. These are. You have to create the folder here outside the routes. src. Inside the src folder, we have a new folder called user. Inside the user folder, we have to create all the things, right? So user control, you have to create the file user controller.js. After this, another file you have created user service.js, right? So user. After that, you have to create another file which is a user model.js. Okay, right. These files are important to create the Crud application system, right? Now what you're going to do is, now you've done the pages, right? This is a page. Okay, when the URL is coming, you can see this URL in the routes. When the URL is coming, it goes to the page which is a user controller. This is a user controller get action method. Okay, now let's go to the user controller. This is a user controller. You have visit the user controller, right? Now what you're going to do is, I am going to, instead of this writing, I just copy this one. Don't worry about it, I'll be explain it. I'm going to paste it over it. But if I write it, it take too much of time to complete. That's why I just paste it. You have to create the variable var get date get controller function. You have to write like this is function. This same function. Which function? This model function. Sorry. This route function. This same function. Sorry. This I have the spelling mistake. Same function. Control C to copy. I paste it over here. Right. The same function is coming over here. And here I'm going to type this one as a employee. This employees. Employee. Right, employee. To get the employee data. Paste it over here as well. Right. Okay. So you have to create a variable. So here var, this is your method. Okay. Here you have to write, if you have put await, you have to type this one assign. Okay. So here request and response. There's two parameters, request and response. Okay, get the request. This is a request you are getting from the URL, right? Okay, you get the response. So it can't get the response here. So here this function create the variable employee await. Okay, so here one task is complete, another task work. That's why you put await function. So here service, it pass the request to the service. Service is process which you communicate with the model, right? So here service has a function get data from the DB service, right? If the service, if the thing is coming, it will be get the response and sending back to the routes, right? So what you're going to do is, now we have to make the server service page. We already service page, you have to make it. So this user service. Okay, so go to the service. What you're going to do is, now service page, right? Service page also the same model. I just copied, paste over here, right? Right, paste it over here. Now you can see it's a model. Here simply you have to import all the things, model export, then only it will be export to another class. Okay, so here to export, model export, get from DB service. So a new promise is the one which will be handling the all the requests, right? Promise, inside the promise we have to create a function, right? So we have to create the function. You have to check the function check. I gave this URL, right? Check URL. I create the function check URL. it has a two things, resolve and reject. If the result is success, resolve will be work. If the result is failure, reject will be work. In the promise will be handling all the URL stuff, right? It is handling the stuff, right? So here it's passing to the, it get the service. What is the service that it will be getting? Loading the data. So it passing the promise. Promise has a two function, resolve and reject, right? So it will be passing to the model. So user model find, you have to get all the data, so you have to write the array look like this. So function return, we have created two variables here, error and result, right? How to create this one I have already explained, right? Then if error, if it is error, it will be rejected, rejected false. If it is success, result will be there. It is success, it will be, result will be passing to the front end, right? Now what you're going to do is, we have a model. Go to the model, this is a user model. So user model, I'm going to create the schema, the schema of the database. You have to create a schema of the database, right? So schema, I'm going to create the model. So Control C to copy the same thing. I'm going to paste it over here. I'll be explaining. Don't worry about that, because if I take too much of time to complete the project, if it is if I'm going to create, okay, this is the employee. We have created the table. Whatever is the name of the table you have created? Which name is employees? Here this table is the employees. EST employees. This is a table. This is schema. So employee table, we have some data. I'm going to create something, name. I'm going to create name, address, phone. These are the address, phone. These are the things data we have to create. Okay, only the three data. Okay, I have created name, address, mobile, phone. This is simple data. We have created three data only. Okay, this is simple data we have to create, right? These three columns are there. Let's save all. Right, let's save all. This is the thing, right? ID will be auto generated. Okay, so here these are the columns you have created. So first you have to implement the mongoose, require mongoose with schema. You have to create the schema. Mongoose has a library called schema. You have to create the variable user schema, new schema. You have to create these columns. Okay, columns name with the appropriate database, right? Here we are not do any calculation part, so we have to, we can give as a string as a phone number, right? So these are the schema we have created in the database table, right? Okay, if you call this user schema, it will be created, right? So let's save, right? That's it. The first when the request is coming, how the process work, the URL is coming, user get out is go to the controller function, right? Controller get data. So go to the controller. So here we have to give the user service. So user service path we have to give. So how to give the user service path? Here this one. So it will be given over here. Okay, we give the path. Here it will be the get control is communicate with via here via the model service. So service path you have to give. Service communicate via model. So model is path also we have to give. Okay, so how to give the path model, sorry, service is from the model. That is the model path as well. User model. Model is the path can get the database, right? So this is the path you are given. Route also we have to given the uh, route also we have to given this one. This the controller path we have to given as well. The controller path. So the route is on you. It will be communicate with the data routes, because two folders here, you are inside this folder. Two dot mean here, you are inside users. User is inside the src folder. So you have to go double slash slash src user. So folder name after the access. That's how the URL works. The route here coming here. First you have to access double slash src. Double slash means go outside the folder, and src user controller. Then only we access the route to this file. This file be access into the user file dot, this is a current directory slash me, this goes to the service. The service will be access the model, current directories dot slash model. It will be access the model. This is how the URL will be made. Very simple. Now you have an idea. If the URL is coming user slash get all, it goes to the controller, user controller, and get and user controller will be passing the request to service. Service is a process which will be communicate with the database, and we will be get the data. If the data is come successfully, it will resolve. If there is any problem, it will be rejected. Right? It passing to the output to the routes. Right? We successfully complete the get all part. So now I'm going to go to create the data. So I'm going to create the this URL, right? So let's just copy and paste it. Otherwise, we take too much of time to complete this project, right? So I'm going to paste it over here. Now you can understand. I'll be explain here. If the URL is coming, this is a route. We have to get it and call it here. There's a property called route. Outright this one I explain it. The same thing you have tried over here, right? If when the URL is coming slash user create, this is a post. This is the get the data. We have to get method using the get method. If it is a post data, if you have using the post method, right? User controller, create user controller FN, right? This is the method you have to create, right? Create use. This is the function which will be create the records, right? After that, what you are going to do is after that, if you get the date, create controller function, right? After that, what you are going to do is it goes the user controller when the request is coming. When the UI, when you type the URL, look like this. Okay, so it is goes to the user controller create action method. So you go to the user controller. You have to create the separate method. What's the method you have to create? Create user controller. So here I have already created. So I'll be copy and paste. Then only will be able to understand that, right? So I just copy it. Right. Paste it over here. Right. Paste it over here. Now let's this one. I no need then. Right now here you can check here when the request is create user controller fn. Fn mean function. We shortly have type fn assigning assign task. So here you request and response you write to function. So here we have to write this one as a we have to write this one also. We no need that, right? Let's get rid of these lines, right? Now you can see here when the request is coming, this is the function, right? Create user fn, this function. The request is coming, this is passing to the user service to create the records, right? The when the it is passing the user service to create the request. The request body stated is coming successfully, user created, otherwise here error create the user, right? So let's go to here. We already create the one here as uh, get the data. Now you have to create the data, add the data into the database. So I have created code here as well. This one, get the data, remove the data, create the data. Paste it over here. This one I'm going to, we don't need the, we have to change the fields and all. We change the fields and all. The user model is a model. We are calling the user model to get the data into the database, right? Schema. So here we have to first, what is the fields we have? What is the schema? We have to check the schema. Name, address. So you have to write over here the service name. Sorry. Address, phone. This line we get rid of this line, but pass it this here. Name, address, phone. That's it. Right. Now this is a service. Okay, so here the service also we have to get the service also same thing. This is the function in the service, user details. So you have to create here the promise. I already explained what is the purpose you have to create the promise. Promise is the one who manage the request. Okay, there is inside the promise there is two functions we have created. resolve and reject. If the request is successfully, it is resolved. If it is a failure, it's rejected, right? It passing two functions, right? So here we have to set the data. Okay, these are the fields, right? Name and address, phone number. Okay, so it will be this one created in database. So if it is correct, the details, right? Okay, details. The details. If it is correct, so here use a save. Here there will be the save function handling error request. If there is any problem, it will be rejected. If the result is success, it is the result. That's the thing it will be doing. That's perfect. That's the thing we have done it in the service, right? Perfect. Now let's go. Here we done two things, right? So here, what you are going to do is here I have to export it. Service no need there. Right. So let's go to our project. This my project is the controller project. It's a controller. Right. So here I have to export them. This one I will explain it, get function and create function. Right. We have to export it. Okay. So we have create the function, this particular two function. We have to export the outside. We have to write model exports. We have to put it this one. Then only we will be use this function. It's outside. Okay. No. Right. So that export. Here service also we have to write this. We already written like this. Okay. If you want, you can write like this. Okay. If you create the function and finally you have to get output it, right? That's simple, right? You have to do likewise, right? So you have to do like this way or that way. Okay, both are nice. So if you want to write like this, well, this also works. Okay, you have to write var, the same thing like here as well. Var, you have to write like this. Okay, perfect. Here you have to create the arrow function over here, right? Now let's check whether it's working fine or not. Right now let's save all. This project we save all. Now let's open the Postman. Postman is the we have to check the request whether it's working fine or not. Now let's see how to run the server. We have an idea. Okay, what server? Sorry, not server dot js. This is a file you have to run it and check the request. While running the project, I have got the error as dot user service because I have given here as in user controllers user service, but this is not a service. Yes, service only have given. That was the error. Spelling mistake here. The page you have created user service here, user services. Right. Again we have going to run it. Right. The error display, what is the thing is model I haven't exported. That's why here the export, then only it will be work. Right here, other pages you can here export, models also export, the schema, the models, the schema also export, service also export. We have tried the exports, right? So that's why the problem you have to now you can try it here. Now it's started DB connected. Now let's check the URL, right? So let's go to the URL. So what is a port? This is the port you're checking. Localhost HTTP localhost. This is a port you're checking, right? So this is the port, right? So HTTP this localhost, right? This you have to type localhost. So go to the Postman. You have to type localhost. What is the port? You have to type the port. Port. I'm going to check it. What's the port? This is a port. What is the port you are doing the server? 800 port. You have type on the post method. This one should be the post method. I'm going to insert the record, right? Post, right? So what is the URL? Now you have to type the URL. What is the URL you're going to type? I'm going to type the URL as first. I'm going to insert the record. So create, right? So here write body row. So type like this. Right? You type the URL like this. The post URL, right? You write this post URL. So here, what is the URL you're going to type? So name This one should be the address mobile. Add some value, address India, mobile number. You have to write like this, something like that. Okay, click send button. The here the problem, the get the response, what's the problem? There's a problem with the URL or something. Here click routes create. Here there's a problem, URL problem. Here model data, it's saying there you go what's the page and 29. So use the model name, use the details name. So you go and check user detail is not defined. So you go to the model, user controller, okay. These details you can check here. That's why that's error. Here the details, there's a problem, it says spelling mistake, right? So let's save all. Okay, you have to write like this. Okay, then only if you get any error you will be able to solve up. Right, now let's again check it. Now again if you get the request, again we get a problem, couldn't respond, again get the problem. What the problem it is? The problem is this. Here my models, here phone, here written is a mobile. That's the problem. That's it. Again I'm going to run the project. That's why it won't work. It's working. Now that's the problem. Now here user created, right? Now let's back to my database and check it. This is my database. I'm going to refresh it. Here it's working. Now if you are going to add the record, uh, Peter John Gmail, phone number this one, click user created, back to my database and check it. It's working. Now it's working perfectly well. Now if you have to get the data, so how to use the URL? What the URL we have to use? You can find it or this is the URL. Back it here, post it over here. At this time not a post method, it's a get method. It's a get request. So here none. Click send. It's working. Okay, it's working perfectly well. It's working perfectly well. Right. Thank you for watching. I'll be getting in touch with in my Nodejs Angular part 2 tutorial. Thank you.